I'm Pastor Michael. Thanks for joining me for a moment of faith. I want to talk to you about someone named Thomas Merton today. Thomas Merton, maybe you've heard of him. He was an American Trappist monk. He was considered a mystic. He was a theologian. He was an author, a poet, was a social activist in his time, lived until about 1968. And when you learn more about Thomas Merton, it seems to me he's one of those people that who has passed, who you think, boy, I really would love to have had the opportunity to have a conversation with them for even 10 or 15 minutes, just to learn more about them. Seems like a pretty fascinating guy. He wrote something that's credited as the Thomas Merton Prayer. It's a prayer that he wrote. And I came across it some years ago, and I like this prayer. I want to read this prayer to you today and then just break it down a bit and tell you why I like it. And I encourage you to look this prayer up because I think it's a good prayer to add to our prayer library in our lives of faith. He said this: "My Lord God, I have no idea where I'm going. I do not see the road ahead of me. I cannot know for certain where it will end, nor do I really know myself. And the fact that I think I'm following your will does not mean that I'm actually doing so. But I believe that the desire to please you does in fact please you. And I hope that I have that desire in all that I'm doing. I hope that I will never do anything apart from that desire. And I know that if I do this, you will lead me by the right road. Therefore will I trust you always, though I may seem to be lost and in the shadow of death. I will not fear, for you are ever with me, and you will never leave me to face my perils alone." Isn't that a great prayer? Here's what I like about this prayer. There's a lot of honesty in this prayer. It's one thing I like about it. First of all, from the beginning, he admits to God not knowing the future. He admits to God, I don't know the future. Second, he admits to God not being 100% sure that he's using his gifts in all the ways that God might want him to use his gifts. He admits to that. Third, I believe Merton is saying what I also believe to be true, and that is that we are not 100% perfect, but God blesses our truly good intention. God blesses our truly good intention, even when we miss the mark. And lastly, I would say this: sometimes we sell God short. I believe that. Sometimes we sell God short. We seem to us to be in the midst of something that's impossible, and we forget that God can do amazing things with the impossible. Listen to these words at the very end of his prayer. "Therefore will I trust you always, though I may seem to be lost and in the shadow of death." He doesn't say, though I am lost in the shadow of death. He says, I may seem to be lost and in the shadow of death. Sometimes it seems to us that we're in over our heads, things we can't handle, things we shouldn't take on, and we forget that God does amazing things with what we think is impossible. Just some thoughts on the Thomas Merton prayer today. I encourage you to look it up. Google it. You'll find it. The Thomas Merton Prayer.